Let's talk about one of the most powerful and honestly most overlooked tools you have, your own intuition. In this explainer, we're going to break down how you can consciously learn to read that flood of signals people send out in the first 10 seconds of meeting them and what those signals are really telling you. You know the feeling, right? You meet someone new, and before they've even finished a single sentence, there's this little voice in your head that just goes, I don't trust this person. Or maybe it's the total opposite. You feel an instant connection and you just know they're the real deal. Well, that little voice, it's not just some random thought. It's actually your brain running this incredibly high-speed analysis, processing thousands of tiny data points to make a snap judgment. See, first impressions aren't magic. They're a system based on real, readable clues. And here's the really cool part. What our brains do unconsciously, we can actually learn to do consciously. We can train ourselves to spot those signals and, decode what they really mean. So let's dive in and break down exactly how you can do that. Okay, first things first. Let's focus on the most immediate data we get, the visuals. The eyes, the face, and the hands. They tell a whole story long before a single word is ever spoken. So, let's start with just how fast this all happens. How quickly do we make up our minds? Well, research shows our brain makes a surprisingly accurate judgment about someone's trustworthiness based on just 3 seconds of eye contact. 3 seconds, that's it. Your internal trustometer has already delivered a verdict. So what is your brain looking for in those 3 seconds? The signals are pretty primal. A warm, steady, relaxed gaze, that tells us someone is confident and probably honest. But if their eyes are darting all over the place or they just can't seem to make eye contact, that can be a red flag for nervousness, discomfort, or maybe even deception. Now let's talk about something even faster. Micro-expressions. These are tiny, involuntary flashes of pure emotion that just leak out, revealing how someone truly feels even if they're trying to hide it. I mean, an FBI agent once caught a suspect based on a single expression that lasted less than a fifth of a second. They are incredibly revealing. Here's a classic one to watch for. If you're talking to someone and their eyebrows just flash upwards for a fraction of a second, you've just witnessed a little burst of surprise, or maybe even fear, no matter how calm their face looks a moment later. And here's another super common one, lips pressed tightly together. This is a universal sign of concealed anger or frustration. Somebody might be saying, no, everything's fine, but their mouth is telling you a very different story. You've probably heard this one before, and it is absolutely true. A genuine smile, what they call a Duchenne smile, involves the muscles around the eyes. It creates those little crow's feet. If the smile is only in the mouth, it's likely just a polite performance, not real happiness. And finally, for visuals, pay attention to the hands. We can often control our faces, but our hands tend to spill the beans. Open palms are subconsciously linked with honesty and trust. But when someone's hands are hidden in their pockets or they're fidgeting under a table, that can signal anxiety or that they're hiding something. All right, so now let's add a couple more layers to our toolkit. Beyond what we see, there are crucial clues in what we hear and even in what we feel, specifically in a person's voice and how they use the space around them. The tone of someone's voice often carries way more emotional truth than the words themselves. Someone talking really loud and fast might be trying to be dominant, or they could just be super nervous. A flat, monotone voice can suggest someone is emotionally guarded, trying to keep things under control. The trick is to listen beyond the words and hear the music. How they're saying it is often more important than what they're saying. And then there's that invisible barrier, personal space. How close someone stands tells a story. Getting right up in your space might signal warmth, or it could signal aggression. Keeping a big distance could mean they're shy, or maybe they're trying to establish authority. The context is everything, so the real key is to watch their body language within that space. Are they relaxed and comfortable, or are they tense and rigid? So we've covered all the passive observation stuff. Now, let's kick it up a notch and shift to active behaviors. Think of these as little character tests, small actions that reveal some pretty big truths about who a person really is. Pay really close attention to the very first thing someone says to you. It is almost never random. So when someone opens with a line like this, what are they really trying to say? That first sentence is like a little window into how they see themselves. I work crazy hours isn't just a fact, it's a statement. They want you to see them as productive, as important, maybe even as a martyr to their job. That opening line always tells you how a person wants to be seen. Okay, here's a simple but incredibly powerful test for reliability. Forget about the big promises. Watch the small ones. If someone says, "Oh, I'll send you that link," and they actually do it, that is a huge green flag. If they consistently forget those little things, it tells you that following through just isn't a priority for them. This one might be the most powerful test of all. I call it the server test. Just watch how someone treats people they think have no power over them. A waiter, a cashier, a cleaner. In these unguarded moments, when they think no one important is watching, their true character comes shining through. Real respect is shown to everyone, not just the people who can do something for you. So we've got all these clues, right? The visuals, the sounds, the actions. But how does our brain manage to weave all of that together so quickly to create that single, powerful gut feeling? Well, the scientific answer is a really cool concept called thin slicing. It's our brain's incredible ability to find meaningful patterns in tiny little bits of information. Basically, drawing super accurate conclusions from just a few seconds of observation. It's like this high-speed engine in your head that's constantly processing data. And what's that engine processing? Well, in those first 10 seconds, your brain is running through this exact checklist at lightning speed. It's synthesizing the eye contact, the micro-expressions, the hand gestures, the personal space, the tone of voice, and the opening words all into one single, cohesive first impression. That is your gut feeling. But here's the most important thing to remember. This whole toolkit isn't for judging people and slapping them in a box. It's for sharpening your intuition. A first impression is just that, a starting point, a first clue. Never assume someone's lying just because they looked away. They might just be really shy. Use these tools as a guide, because real connection and true understanding, that always takes time. Being able to consciously read these signals, it's like unlocking a human superpower. It helps you navigate the world with so much more awareness and confidence. And the thing is, you already have this ability. So the only real question left is, how will you choose to use it?